or good afternoon, as you like. We are in a church, Catholic church. The name of the church, Stephen, Saint Stephen. Okay, I think you know who is Saint Stephen. Okay. You see here, being chosen as a deacon by the apostles, and he was a very active young Christian in the first Christian community in Jerusalem. He wanted to convince his brothers, the Jews, that Jesus of Nazareth was the Messiah. He encountered opposition. Some people seized him, took him to the Sanhedrin, you see here, okay? The Sanhedrin and Stephen. The Sanhedrin asked questions, and he answered in his own speech. In brief, he said like that: everything which is written in the Bible about the Messiah was accomplished in Jesus of Nazareth. That is, he said, Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah, and you, the Sanhedrin, killed him, but God rose him from the dead. Okay, we know this was St. Stephen's faith, the faith of each Christian, of the more than 2 billion Christians in the world. But when he said that, somebody seized him like a lynch, took him outside Jerusalem and stoned him to death. Where? In a place we call today Gethsemane. And Stephen died. Here we see that he's been brought to the very place, here, and here in the middle we have this old man with the white beard. Who is he? He is Gamaliel. Well, when I speak to the Jews, I tell them that there are many Gamaliels. Now this is Gamaliel the elder, who lived at the time of Jesus. Maybe he died in the year 50 of the, Okay, today we know that St. Stephen was stoned to death in Jerusalem, but was buried here. How do you know this? We know this through a letter written by a Greek priest in the 5th century. The priest called Lucian wrote that Gamaliel, who lived in the 1st century, appeared to him in a dream and told him, you have to search for the tomb of Stephen, my own tomb, that of my son Abibos, and that of my nephew Nicodemus. Nicodemus, we meet him in the Gospel of John, when he went to meet Jesus during the night, okay? Okay, so the dream repeated itself 3 times. After the 3rd time, this priest searched, and really he found the remains of these 4 people. Once again, Stephen, Gamaliel, Abibos, the son of Gamaliel, and Nicodemus, the nephew of Gamaliel. But when the bishop of Aelia Capitolina of Jerusalem heard that somewhere the remains of Stephen were found, he ordered to take them back to Jerusalem. Where in Jerusalem? Near Mount Zion, near the church where Jesus had the Last Supper, okay? And in the place where the tomb was found, this bishop built a monument in honor of Stephen. So it was 415. The priest wrote in the letter, I had this vision when I was sleeping near the church of Kafar Gamla, 30 kilometers from Jerusalem. Okay, when I speak to the Jews, I have to tell them that it is a Gamla also in the Golan Heights. That's so far away. The priest speaks about 30 kilometers from Jerusalem. So then we know what happened in 614. The Persians came to the Holy Land, destroyed all the churches, except one church, the Church of the Nativity in Bethlehem. Why? Because they saw the 3 kings, the 3 magi, dressed like the Persians. So they spared it. The other churches, all of them were destroyed. Also the church of Kafar Gamla. Nobody knew where was Kafar Gamla until 1860. An Italian priest built an orphanage in Bethlehem, where the Salesians are now. Then he searched for another plot of land to build another orphanage and an agricultural school, and he found the occasion here. Here was an Arab Muslim village called Bejiman, like today, but most of the people died here. Not of coronavirus, but of malaria, okay? So what did this Italian priest do? First of all, he settled elsewhere the few families who remained here, and then he bought all the land. And in 1872, he built a big building you see today, which was an orphanage and agricultural school. Now, the life of the orphanage went on until 1916. 1916 here, there was no church. There was a garden, and there you saw the playground of the orphans, okay? Now, our brothers Salesians wanted to build some bathrooms for the orphans. They dug. When they dug, they found the mosaics which you saw outside. Outside, you saw mosaics, if you paid attention, okay? Here there are no mosaics, these are stamps, okay? No stones. Then the archaeologists who came here saw that these mosaics were the floor of a Byzantine church of the 5th century. He knew about the letter of Lucian, 415, 30 kilometers from Jerusalem, from Stephen, Fargamla, and then he said, oh, here a place we call Beit Jemal. Jemal, Gamala, for those who know Hebrew or Arabic, is the same word, okay? Then the distance between here and Jerusalem is 30 kilometers. And they said, oh, it's here, Fargamla. Here St. Stephen was buried. And so in 1930, our brothers Salesians built again the church as it was before and called it the Church of St. Stephen because they thought really that around here was the Church of Stephen. What happened? Happened like that Stephen, a Jew in Jerusalem, before becoming a Christian, was a disciple of Gamaliel, the disciple in the Torah, in the law, okay, in the Bible. And when Gamaliel saw one of his disciples dead in Jerusalem, as a good Jew, he provided him a tomb, but not in Jerusalem because there was a persecution of the Christians. Where? Here in his estate. This was the estate of Gamaliel. That's why the place was called Far Gamaliel, the village of Gamaliel. Then it became Far Gamla, and then with the centuries when the Muslims came, became Beit Jemal. This is the history of the place of the church. Okay, if you missed some word of my explanation, outside there you can find the book in English, also in Arabic, in Russian, okay, about the... Then you can find also other books. They are free with the donation if you want to